Real, 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 real. People say, yo, Lumpy, you're really funny looking. That's all right, because I'm all about tucking or taking. I specialize in faking. No, we're not doing that yet? No? Okay, all right. Well, let's talk about that lumpy dance. And we're not talking about Megan, because her lumpiness related to that lingering hernia, that's not her fault. We're talking about the other lumpy one in the room. We're talking about the one in the room that works out on a daily basis. We're talking about the lumpy one that's all about gorging himself. He's been all about gorging himself over the past few years. So let's talk about the lumpy dance, Tim style. Yeah, all right. Turn that up. Yeah, I got it right here. All right, stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the image of a pastor that you're used to. I seem funny, but yo, I'm getting money, see? So YouTube, I hope you're ready for me. Subscribe much. I built my mama hutch. After my first, my second, and my third lunch, I take money. I take everything you have for yourself. So just let me introduce myself. My name is Timothy. Donate out of sympathy. Church ladies, oh how I like to grift thee. Dig in the pockets of your pants. If it helps, I'ma do my glance. The lumpy dance is my chance to run it up. Oh, no? Too much? All right, okay, all right. All right, so before I get into my reaction, I want to recognize you guys that have been active in the comments. Keep that commentary flowing both ways. Keep it flowing. I do want to recognize you heavy Tim supporters, you heavy Tim followers in the commentary. I see you guys. I hear you guys saying Captain Peter Frampton, some captain you are. If you were a true captain, you would not come between me and my pastor. If you were a true captain, you wouldn't interfere with this fake / false / YouTube relationship that I have with my pastor. I hear you guys. I hear you, Captain. My pastor said that we should love our haters, even though he be hating on his haters. He said that we should love. He said, don't do as he does, do as he says, and so we should love our haters. And our pastor, he said that a positive and a negative is a negative, and he said love and plus hate equals hate, and negative minus a positive gives you love and hate, and whatever he said is what I'm going with, because my pastor, he be doing that arithmetic. And he be listening to those motivational speakers. Sure, motivational speakers is worth a dime a dozen. That means most of them are not worth a dime. But if my pastor say go, we gonna go. And I'm like, yo, it's not that serious. I'm the captain, but it's not that serious. But I do hear you guys. I definitely hear you guys wilding in the comments. Keep it going. In the meantime, I digress. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the recent IAG Farms video where Tim is talking about they decided to build their own porch. And for most of us viewers, most of us that are less than heavy Tim followers, we knew that this was coming. We knew about this weeks ago. Back when he had those contractors, he had Jim, Myron, and the boys out there in the dark, in the pitch dark, out there talking about that deck. We knew that the long game on it was for him to finagle, for him to hustle that materials list, that blueprint off of those contracts. We knew it weeks ago. But Tim informed the rest of you guys that they decided to build their own porch. But I'm going to give my reaction to that video. Early in the video, Tim explained to us why they decided to build their own deck. Apparently, he forgot that he already gave us an initial explanation back when they were out. I think they were out on the ranch, him and Megan standing together. But he forgot they already gave us an initial explanation when they said that, okay, we decided to build our own deck because we can build it for half of the cost, because we're just going to be paying for the materials and we're myself and the boys, and Megan, we're going to provide the labor for free. So they forgot, they already told us it was a cost issue, but now the second time they're explaining to us that they decided to build their own deck because they were unhappy, or Tim was unhappy with how slow the project was moving. He explained to us that apparently Jim, the contractor, had not been returning Tim's phone calls. And we're like, Now Jim has done projects for Tim in the past, and he's always proven to be reliable. And so we're like, why would Jim not return Tim's phone calls? Hello? Maybe because Jim is a long-time contractor, and he knows, he can see the telltale signs of when someone is trying to get over on him, when someone is trying to swindle or hustle him out of a blueprint that would supposedly contain a full materials list. I'm sure that Jim, he knows the signs. No matter what kind of working relationship he has with Tim, he knows when the hustle is in play. He knows when it's coming. And so I fully understand why Jim would just ignore those phone calls. I'm sure Jim has that caller ID just like most of us folks. And I'm sure when he sees it pop up, he's like, yeah, we're going to pass on that one.
We've kind of made a pivot as far as our porch bill, because we actually haven't got our blueprint yet. Neither have we got the updated pricing on the porch bill from when we had Mr. Jim and his crew come through. But like I said, things weren't moving quite, at the pace we wanted them to move. Like I said, we ain't got the blueprint yet or the finalized quote. And I did some research, prayed about it a little bit, and we decided to build our front porch, our front deck ourselves. And it's gonna be amazing, because I know exactly how I want it built at least, because I can try to explain to somebody else how I want it built, but there's only so much I can explain. But the Lord has already given me the ideas and the vision in my mind, and I'm gonna write up my own blueprints. I'm gonna pull my own permits. We did the research that says the homeowner can pull permits. You don't have to be a licensed contractor to do those things. And so we're in the process of getting some of the material and some of the things that's gonna make this process go smoother, like an auger. Because it's about probably, we're gonna have those poles stretched out 8 foot apart, and we're going like a 70-foot stretch. So it's gonna be a nice little challenge getting those holes dug if I would have did it by hand. But I'm gonna get an auger.
Later on in the video, Tim and Megan, they talk about some buy one, get one free logic, whereby they buy the auger, they buy the materials for the porch and they get the auger for free, because they were only buying the materials. And so I guess in total, between the materials for the porch and the cost for the auger, I guess it's going to be equivalent to the $20,000 that they would have paid for the total porch build. The logic is a little bit twisted, especially for someone trying to live a debt-free lifestyle. We don't just spend up all the money we have. But I guess it's a consistent logic for them, considering that they use the exact same logic when buying both of those chicken coops, because I guess the one chicken coop was marked half down, even though the one 8x8 chicken coop was plenty of space for the fresh air, for the few chickens that I guess it eventually will contain. Even though the 8x8 was plenty of space, Tim decided that they needed a double portion. And even though they spent the same money, somehow it was a buy one, get one free scenario. But Megan and Tim, they walked us through how getting the auger was the free part of the project. They talked about how they're heading down this road. They're goal-oriented. They're not necessarily goal completers, not necessarily goal achievers, but they are goal-oriented. They don't have a problem with setting goals. And they talked about how their current goal, or their upcoming goal, by the end of 2025, is they want to be raising farm fresh food. They talked about how that big old shiny cattle hauler is going to feed in and play a part in that. They talked about how getting that mini freezer, that mini deep freezer. I think that's a double negative. I think that's one of those double negatives that your pastor Tim talked about previously. But getting that mini deep freezer, how that fits into their desire to eventually get into raising these farm fresh animals. So they talk about that also in this clip.
We can save money, but we're not really gonna save any money per se, because you end up having more money or having extra to buy things like equipment and buy better material and things like that.
Buy one get one free is what I was thinking of, because we are getting the auger for the purpose of the porch bill. It'll help with that, but we'll still have the auger at the end of the day. So we're not renting a machine or just paying for someone to come and rent the machine then leave one time. So there's I guess a resource that's there that we can continue to use far after the porch bill. So that's why I say
putting
buy
up fencing and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, so I say buy one get one free. Buy an auger now for the purpose of the porch bill, and we'll roll that into the cost of the porch bill, and then later we'll use it for free.
Exactly right. Have a free auger for building fence, because we definitely need to fence off more pasture.
That's right.
We have so many goals, and we've talked about it a little bit. Y'all have seen us get a deep freezer. Y'all have just seen different things going on. And like I say, we have so many goals. Y'all seen us get a cattle hauler, because one of our big goals is we want to get back to raising all of our own meat and having enough of abundance to be able to give to other people that's in need, and not just people that's in need, but give to neighbors, just bless people, people that just having a higher quality of meat. And that was one of our goals, coming down here. One of the reasons why we started.
Shortly thereafter, Megan shares with the fact that Megan wants to raise fresh chickens, meat chickens, as they call them. She wants to raise meat chickens. She wants to raise some egg-laying hens, along with some duck and some turkey. And I'm like, okay, well, that's a start. That'll go some of the way into filling up those big old chicken coops. I guess everything would definitely fit into those big old chicken coops with room to spare on that double portion. But now I can just imagine, that poultry, that livestock in that chicken coop, watching those predators chomp at the bit, licking their chops, thinking about how they're going to dig their way, how they're going to squeeze their way into that chicken coop, squeeze their way into that smorgasbord, that buffet. And I could just imagine the look of horror on those ducks. They're like, man, I can't. At least the chickens can peck at something as self-defense. The ducks are like, man, all I can do is quack. And I know Tim, with his big old sleeping self, he's not going to wake up, come out here and rescue us from these predators. Of course, Tim was pretty transparent about the fact that he's going to have nothing at all to do with raising these chickens, hens, ducks, and turkey. He was like, yo, I'm just here to hold the camera. This is Megan's story. He's like, I'm going to have nothing at all to do with this.
We kind of put a lot of other things on the back burner, but now we're getting back to those things. So that's why you see a chicken coop back here, because Megan already has the numbers. Tell us the numbers on these chickens, and tell us what all you're going to raise, how you're going to raise it, all those details.
Okay, so I want to raise 48 chickens, and I want to do at least probably around 35 to 40 meat chickens. And then I would like to raise some laying hens as well, raise a few laying hens, and then I want to raise some ducks and some turkeys. Couple ducks, couple turkeys, just kind of like ease our way into raising those poultry as well. So that's my goal. Really want to focus in and get some meat chickens. So I was thinking, hey, if we ate one whole chicken a week, all I would have to raise a year would be 56 chickens. And, you know, I think raising chickens twice a year, because in Mississippi, I think I can raise them twice a year and bring them to, you know, size to eat. And that way I could easily raise enough chickens, not just to have one a week, but to give some away as well. So if I raise 30 meat chickens twice a year, I'd have like 60 if I raise, you know.
We kind of put a lot of other things on the back burner.
A bit later, the newly affectionate couple, and you guys claim that these reaction channels don't work. You guys claim that Tim doesn't watch these reaction channels. But the newly affectionate couple, they talk about their goal orientation. Tim talks about being about the word, but not just in tongue, but being about the word in deed and in truth. And I'm like, okay, hey, Tim, finally coming around, coach. You're finally coming around. Something has been nudging you in the right direction, but you're finally coming around. And after these 4 years or so of being down there, you guys are going to finally start displaying some of the deeds. And that's going to be great to see. Now, us viewers, we're going to have to extend you guys a little bit of grace. We have to be patient with you guys. But we're definitely looking forward for when you guys start displaying those deeds, and for when you guys start demonstrating some of the work and we start seeing some of the works. And now we know that even if you do muster up the energy, if you do muster up the extra time to demonstrate those works, we of course know that you spoke of deed and truth. We do of course know that the truth, based upon your challenges in the past and in the present, we do know that the truth obviously is going to lag a little bit behind. And so we'll believe it when we see it, but we'll be patient as far as the truth part goes, Coach. We know that your biggest challenge is always the truth. And we're talking about the real truth, Coach, not the truth. We're not talking about those truths that you seem to pull out of your pocket at a moment's notice. We're not talking about those truths. We're talking about the actual truth. So we'll be patient with you a little bit, Coach, waiting on that truth.
Make sure the farm is healthier for our sheep and for our pigs, so they can
and that's another meat, lamb.
That's right, lamb.
And then want to raise more pork. And
right,
like so that's the reason why we have the cattle hauler, like I say. So y'all can kind of see some of the things that
everything's working
together. And we're like, you know, we have that like ministry, business, family, productivity, like setting goals. Like we've always been big goal setters. And so we've already set a bunch of goals for next year that we're trying to accomplish. And so now as we prepare for next year and prepare for this next season, that like we're literally like getting the things in place to be able to do those things. So we just won't talk about it, so we can actually be about it and actually do it. Mm-hmm. We just want to, you know, like the Bible talks about love, not just in word and in tongue, but in deed and in truth, you know. But yeah, we just won't talk about it, so we can actually be about it and actually do it. Mm-hmm. You know, we have that like ministry, business, family, productivity, like setting goals. Like we've always been big goal setters. We just won't talk about it, so we can actually be about it and actually do it. You know, we have that like ministry, business, family, productivity, like setting goals. Like we've always been big goal setters.
Near the end, Tim, my coach, Tim, y'all's pastor, Tim, he further ran us through the logic of them building the porch themselves. Based upon his logic, rather than spend that $20,000 in a span of 2 weeks for the total porch completion by the contractors, what Tim said is they can spread that $20,000 out. They can spread that $20K out over the span of 6 months. And what that implies, or what that admits, is that that project will take at least 6 months. So get ready for that content, y'all. You thought that roof, that barn, that shed roof took months/years to complete. Be prepared for this biggest, baddest porch to take at least 6 months. Now, there's been many occasions where my coach has implied that there is no rush. And certainly on an exterior porch, there is no rush. I don't care if you guys are planning on running electricity to it. I don't care if you guys are planning on covering it. I don't care if you're going to put a dining room set on it. I don't care if you're going to put on your fall and winter coats. I don't care if you're going to be wearing gloves trying to force yourselves to eat out there on that porch. It's going to take a while to complete. So sit back and relax. But my thing is, if that's going to take 6+ months to complete, how in the world are you going to fit in raising all this farm fresh meat, donating some of the farm fresh meat, and of course, actually completing Lily's ranch, actually getting Grandma Lily's ranch closer to being the amazing grace that it was intended to be? How are we going to manage all of that, Coach? I know you're thinking about content. I know you're like, hey, 6 months of content. But for the rest of us, we're like, if that's 6 months, plus we're raising up the meat, we're talking about pushing things out a couple of years. Holy moly. But you are my coach.
So, but yeah, just different things like that we are figuring out and can figure out. Like I say, because instead of having to get all of the material delivered here, like right at the beginning, and then the process just taking 2 weeks, we're just gonna get a little bit of material, work for a week, get a little bit more material, work for a week, and just kind of work it down like that. And like I say,
then it's almost like a spending plan as well. We don't have to spend everything all at once, all in 1 week, all in 1 month even.
Instead of $20,000 in 2 weeks, we spend $20,000 over 6 months.
Right.
And I guess if you look at it like that, it's a whole lot cheaper.
Right.
Yeah.
And also we get to enjoy the porch at the different stages, because at first you got the post, but then pretty soon after that you have a deck.
Yep.
And so so it becomes something that you can use, and then you just progress from there.
That's right.
All right. Well, that's it. That's it for my reaction to that recent IAG Farms video where Tim explained why they decided to build their own porch, even though us discerning viewers, we already knew what was coming. We already knew why you were going to build it. But he explained to us, and he put Megan into it. But he explained why he decided to build his own porch. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please chop it up in the comments as usual. Tim, please bring some of your heavy Tim supporters with you as usual. I'm not sure how you're going to have time to be sneaking up into these comment areas, considering that you've turned on your own comments temporarily. So you're going to have to screen those comments. And for you to take the time to screen your own comments and still come over here and use those burner accounts in order to troll other folks' comments, I mean, that's going to take a lot of work. But Coach, if anyone can do it, you can, Coach. I want to shoot out some love to my current subscribers. Thank you for showing me that love. Those of you guys that are viewing but have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing so that we can continue to shine that light. Until next time.